Hey YouTube, Annabeth Chase123 here, and I am also here with a very special guest. This is my kitty, Aiko. He's a very beautiful Russian blue, sweet mix. Don't know what else he's mixed with. His mom was a tabby. I literally got him as a kitten, and he's the most adorable thing ever. Aren't you? Aren't you? Anyway, I am here today to talk about my theory on Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, if you don't agree with my theory, please leave a comment of why you think my theory is incorrect, because I'd be more than happy to discuss Five Nights at Freddy's theories with you people. And if I'm wrong, hey, I'm 20 years old. I can admit when I'm wrong, okay? Okay. So, our story starts in a little diner called Fredbear's Family Diner that had only one animatronic, one room, a kitchen, and maybe a bathroom or two. This story starts off in the late 70s, early 80s, where a kid was murdered right outside their front porch by the infamous Purple Man. Now, because of this, they had to shut down. Now, after they shut down, they sold themselves to Fazbear Entertainment, which turned the name from Fredbear's Family Diner to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The first location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, well, the first official location, is where the fourth game took place. The very first location it was successful for maybe a few years until it had to be shut down because the animatronics started to smell and ooze started to come out of the old animatronics. People actually said that it smelled like a dying corpse. The second location is where the second game took place, and that's where the bite of 87 happened. Now, I would explain why the bite of 87 took place in the second game, not the fourth game, like most people think. However, I'm going to explain the storyline first, then the lore. Or the details, I guess. And, well, because it's mainly because it's easier this way for us both. I've already taken 2 takes, and Aiko's getting kind of pissy here. You can't really see him, but he's like, "No, Mommy, do not shove my face in the camera anymore." Okay. Right, bite of 87. So, anyway, the second location got shut down after the toy animatronics malfunctioned. This shut them down for a few years up until the 90s, 1993 to be exact, or maybe even earlier. All we know is that Mike Schmitz finished his week in 1993. That location didn't last long, and that's where the purple guy ended up dying. So, 30 years later, Fazbear Fright, the horror attraction, opens up, and they find Springtrap, or the purple guy, in the back room and set him loose. And then the place burns to the ground, stopping the purple guy. Voila, happy ending, that's it. Actually, no, that's not it. There are a few teeny tiny little details which I forgot to mention. First off, and I can hear the angry mob at my door already for saying this, but the bite of 87 did not take place in the fourth game. It took place in the second game. Now, how is this true, you ask? Well, like most others, I thought that the fourth game was all about the bite of 87. I started to have doubts about it when I saw the golden Springtrap suits that were on stage in the mini-games in the fourth game. However, I figured that in that case, Freddy Fazbear's had only closed its door for only a few months, and that it took place in the same time, but turns out I was wrong, because apparently there's an Easter egg in the fourth game where you can actually turn on the TV in one of the mini games, and when you turn that TV on, a date comes up saying 1983. Now, unless the kid was having nightmares for 4 years since that TV turned on, which is not possible because every time you start a night in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, it goes 5 days until the party, 4 days until the party, 3 days until the party, 2 days until the party. So yeah, the bite of 87 did not take place in the 4th game. Also, unlike we were led to believe, even though the marionette kid was killed in the first location, Fredbear's Family Diner, he or she did not initially possess the marionette because there was no marionette. There was only one animatronic. That was Freddy, which I'm willing to bet was a golden Freddy because in the 4th game, the only animatronic that talks to the kid who's having nightmares is the Golden Freddy. Now, why would the Golden Freddy talk to the kid and not the other animatronics? Unless he was possessed. So, also, the kid from the Bite of 83, I'm going to call it, became the Golden Freddy. Now, what happened to the marionette kid, you ask? Well, he saw the marionette and decided to switch bodies, leaving the Golden Freddy to the newcomer. Now, also, I believe that we actually saw the 5 dead kids in the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 mini-games. Well, not the mini-games plural, but the very last mini-game when they decide to be dickheads and shove the kid's head into the Golden Freddy. Yeah, because we see the kid's dickhead brother and his dickhead friends all wear masks. So I think that those are 5 victims of the Purple Man. Another detail, the Purple Man does not have a questionable amount of victims. He has 6. 1 from Fredbear's Family Diner and 5 of the dead children from the first official location. Now, I believe this because in all the mini games where it shows all the murders, they all take place. The only one that takes place in a different location than all the others is the Save Him minigame, where you have to save the marionette kid from Fredbear's Family Diner. However, if you look closely at each of the minigames, it's all the same location, and it can't Okay, first off, the Save Them minigame, or the Go 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 Foxy minigame, starts off with Foxy coming from Pirates Cove, greeting the kids several times over until dead kids. And that is how we know it cannot be in the 1987 location, because there was no Pirates Cove in the 1987 location. And if you don't believe me, just play Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and try to find Pirates Cove, but I can tell you I have spent hours playing that game and there is no Pirates Cove. There's Kids Cove, which has the mangle in it, but Foxy himself is in the back with the scraps and the broken animatronics that, honestly, if I saw one of those things in real life, I would either take a picture and post it to every social media thing I own, or I'd just scream, crap my pants, and run out of there. Yeah, those things are terrifying. What do you think, Aiko? Okay. Now, finally, the details of the 1987 location. The purple guy was not caught there, which, we all know. But he framed someone. Now, who did he frame, I wonder? Well, my theory is that it was Jeremy. Well, I think that's his name. The guy you play. Is it the guy you mainly play as? If you know the guy, the name of the guy you mainly are in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, please leave a comment, because who knows, I might be saying that the wrong guy got framed. So, turns out Jeremy was framed for killing a bunch of kids, which had been haunting Freddy Fazbear since the location before it. So they thought, hey, we caught the bad guy, situation over, now we can reopen again. And they did. However, what they didn't take into account, that yes, the animatronics, the new ones with the crappy facial recognition scanners were scrapped, but the old ones, the ones that they brought back, were possessed and still very, very pissed. So, nothing really exciting happens in the location of the first game, except what you play as. Oh, also, the purple guy dies because he freaks out from the ghosts of the kids traumatizing him, and he gets spring-locked. Okay, so those are the details. Now, here are some extras. Now I know there are questions. Who's the purple guy? Who's the Bite of 87? And more importantly, or I guess as importantly, Christ, I had one. You know, those are actually the only two questions. Who's the Bite of 87? And who is the purple guy? Okay, so. Okay, I'm going to start with the purple guy first because, yeah, as much as I would love to end on an epic finale, the Bite of 87 kind of requires follow-up of who the purple guy is. My theory of the purple guy is reduced to two people, Mike Schmitz and the phone guy. Now, I know everybody's raging, like, the guy in the first game and a guy who died in the first game? What the F is going on? Yeah, trust me, I know. Just let me explain. Okay, first off, the purple guy, not the phone guy. First off, what do we know about the phone guy? That he really likes Foxy. Purple guy, what do we know about the purple guy? In the Go 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 Foxy minigame, he is looking at Foxy and smiling. What else do we know about the phone guy? He does not like the marionette. Why would the killer be friendly with the marionette? Especially if he knows it's possessed with the ghost of his first victim. And the phone guy knew about the back rooms and was probably the only employee who knew about the back rooms and knew that the animatronics wouldn't kill them. That's how the purple guy died. He was hiding in the back room trying to get away from the animatronics, but when the ghosts were free from their animatronics, they came after him. Now, to justify this theory, I would have to say that, well, the good ending in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is technically not possible. However, I'd like to give Scott the benefit of the doubt and say that he added it because it could be possible. So my other theory is Mike Schmitz. Now, of course, what I said before about all those points of how the phone guy could be the purple guy completely trump Mike Schmitz, unless it was the Bite of 87. Think about it. Well, after doing some research online, I discovered that a bite to your frontal lobe or any significant life-threatening damage could lead to your hippocampus being damaged. Now, for those naysayers going, well, what the hell does a hippocampus have to do with the frontal lobe? The hippocampus is in charge of all of your memories. So, hear me out on this one. What if, in the in the second official location of Five Nights at Freddy Fazbear's, he got his whole frontal lobe bitten off, and he somehow made it through. But he also forgot that he used to work at the place with the phone guy, and that he committed all the murders. That would explain why he was so terrified by the ghost children, when obviously the purple guy is some sociopath, and basically, unless he had memory damage, would not go psycho like that and trap himself in the suit. Oh, that was the third important question. Who committed the bite of 87? Now, I am not completely sure about that one, but it was definitely a toy animatronic, and I think it was the toy Mangle. Because, well, in all honesty, her facial shape and the shape of her teeth suit the bill. But my other option of who it could be is Toy Freddy, mainly because of the big sign in the first game's location saying, "Don't touch Freddy, don't get close to Freddy." Although that could be rules because of the bite of 83. So that's my basic theory. There are still a few loose ends, but I apologize, but that's the best I can do. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. And unfortunately, he will not, because he is begging for me to put him back. See ya!